Today, we're going to take apart the blueprint of a company called C6 Bank. They're a Brazilian digital bank that didn't just show up to the party, they pretty much rewrote the rules for how you build a bank in the 21st century. Let's just start with one number, because it tells you almost everything you need to know: 35 million. And no, that's not their valuation, that's how many customers they have. To put that in perspective, that's like the entire population of Canada deciding to sign up for one brand new bank. So that's the big question we're tackling today, right? How on earth does a company go from just an idea to a financial giant serving that many people, and do it in what feels like the blink of an eye? That's the blueprint we're here to figure out. To really get it, we're going to follow their whole journey. First, we'll look at who they are right now. Then we'll hit rewind and look at their founding blueprint. After that, we'll peek under the hood at their tech engine, see how they absolutely conquered a massive market, and then see how it all comes together right in the palm of your hand. Okay, so first up, let's get a really clear picture of this digital banking giant. So C6 Bank is based in São Paulo, and they're what you'd call a full-service digital bank. And that phrase is super important. This isn't just some little app for sending money. They handle everything, for regular people and for small businesses. You can even tell from their logo. It's so clean, so modern. It's screaming, hey, we're a tech company, a FinTech, that just happens to be a bank. But how does a company like this even get off the ground? Well, their founding blueprint is just a masterclass in pure speed. And that's really the headline of their whole origin story. Now, what's absolutely wild about this timeline is the velocity. Think about it. They're founded in 2018 by a dream team of veterans from finance and tech. Just 1 year later, boom, they're licensed and live. By 2021, a global monster like JP Chase comes in and buys a huge piece of the company. And then, by late 2023, they hit that holy grail that so many fintechs never reach. They were actually profitable. And let's be clear that JP investment was a game changer. They didn't just dip their toes in the water, they bought a massive 46% stake. This was so much more than just cash for growth. It was this giant stamp of approval. It basically set a signal to the entire world that, yeah, this digital bank is the real deal. So what's the secret sauce? How did they move that fast? To understand that, we've got to look inside the engine room, at this incredible combination of modern tech and a really smart business model that powers the whole thing. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the old way of doing things, these huge, expensive branch networks, ancient computer systems, and piles of paperwork. And on the other, you've got the C6 way. Totally mobile first, no branches to start, a modern brain built for the cloud, and signing up takes just a few minutes on your phone. It's not just a little better, it's a completely different game. All right, but how do they actually make money? Well, it's this really clever mix. They've got the classic banking stuff down, making money on deposits and loans, but then they layer on all these modern fintech revenue streams, fees every time someone swipes a card, especially their fancy carbon card, commissions from cool, useful things like automated toll tags, and a whole menu of services that businesses pay for. This right here, this is the tech that made it all possible. Being mobile first and having zero branches from day one was absolutely crucial. They built their entire bank on a modern cloud-native core, specifically something called Vault Core from Thought Machine, running on Amazon Web Services. Basically, that just means they have this super flexible, super scalable foundation that lets them see data in real time and launch new products at lightning speed. Okay, so we've seen the strategy, we've seen the tech, but let's look at the results. What happens when you unleash a bank like this on a massive market like Brazil? Get ready for another mind-blowing number, 5,570. You know what that is? That's the total number of municipalities in the entire country of Brazil. And by 2021, C6 Bank had customers in every single one of them. They got total national coverage without building a single physical branch. Just let that sink in for a second. And this chart, wow. This just shows you the explosion. Back when JP invested in 2021, they had a little over 7 million customers. Fast forward just a few years to 2024, and they're talking about more than 35 million. That's not just growth, that's a rocket ship. And if you're thinking, okay, lots of customers, but are they a real bank? Well, check this out. Fitch Ratings projects them to be the 13th largest bank in all of Brazil when it comes to loans and deposits. The takeaway here is huge. They're not just a niche fintech app anymore. They are a major, systemically important bank playing in the big leagues with the old guard. So all this scale and tech is fantastic, but what does it actually mean for the person holding the phone? What's the experience like for the customer? C6's promise to you, the customer, is incredibly simple but so powerful. We're a full service bank that lives entirely inside one app, and everything they do is about speed, a beautiful user experience, and more than anything else, convenience. And believe me, when they say full service, they are not exaggerating. It all starts with the basics, right? Accounts and cards. But then they start layering on premium lifestyle perks, like awesome rewards and travel benefits. Then they add global stuff, like accounts that hold different currencies. And finally, they bake in everyday utilities and tools for businesses. It's your entire financial life in one place. This quote right here, this is their whole strategy in a nutshell. By putting everything in one super convenient app, they become the go-to for their users. And the more you use them, the bigger a piece of your financial life, your share of wallet, they get. So, after all that, when you boil it all down, what's the one big idea we should really take away from the C6 Bank story? Here it is. Their secret wasn't just about having cool tech. It was about fusing that modern, branchless, cloud-first technology with the old school, time-tested fundamentals of a good banking business model. They basically built a better, faster engine, but they pointed it toward a destination they knew was profitable. And that leaves us with one last, really big question to think about. C6 Bank has proven that a digital-only bank can become a profitable giant. So as this model starts popping up all over the world, what do the traditional banks, the ones with all the branches and old systems, what do they have to do to compete or to even survive over the next 10 years?